This is very serious. Jesus is begging for you, only you. Important alert. Very bad is for you on 19th July. If you leave this, you will be cry so much. Open it quickly, Archangel Michael says. A sacred alarm has been sounded in heaven, and your name was spoken in trembling concern. Something destined for you on the 19th of July carries heavy weight, and Jesus himself is standing, not seated, pleading for your attention. This message is not just a warning, it is a divine intervention meant only for you. There is a trembling in the air around your spirit, a trembling that only angels can see. What is approaching is not ordinary trouble, it is a carefully timed disruption meant to destroy your peace, reputation, and even your health. You are being watched, not just by men, but by forces who want to sabotage everything you started building. Archangel Michael says, a shadow has been cast on your name by someone who smiles in your face but speaks venom in your absence. And on the 19th of July, a terrible plan is expected to unfold, a plan where your name will be brought up in something that you did not cause but will be blamed for. The sadness, the tears, the regret that follow if you skip this message will be almost unbearable. Jesus is begging, not commanding, not suggesting, but begging because the enemy has crossed a line this time. Your house, your image, your future are now part of a whisper network working behind closed doors. Archangel Michael says, you are running out of time. There are documents being signed in private. Your name is being placed on a report, a legal or institutional file that could change everything you've worked for. This is not about karma. It's about jealousy mixed with deception. A woman, connected to you indirectly, has opened a file that she shouldn't have, and what she plans to do next is far from harmless. Archangel Michael says, it's a trap being set in silence. And they hope you ignore this very message so they can move forward with confidence. But if you open your eyes now, if you receive this truth and act, you will tear their plan apart before they even get the chance to deliver it. Someone who pretended to bless you has copied your details, name, contact, signature, and passed it to another individual who doesn't even know you properly. This betrayal has layers. It's not just one person working behind you. It's a chain of whispered lies designed to isolate you on the 19th. They are counting on your silence. They are praying for your distraction. But they never imagined that heaven itself would break protocol and send you this divine warning. Your phone may ring with a strange message around this date. Be cautious of any strange emails or letters from unfamiliar addresses. The devil does not always knock, sometimes he slips through open windows of ignorance. And right now, your window is wide open. Jesus is watching your steps closely. He has seen you hurt and broken in the past. But this time it's different. This time, it involves something sacred to you. This time it could bring you down emotionally, spiritually, and even legally. But that's only if you ignore this message. Archangel Michael says, heaven will not remain silent while you are being targeted. That's why this urgent voice has reached you. You are being pulled out of harm's path by pure divine love. They have a copy of a photograph of you, something innocent, something from your past, but they are twisting its meaning. They plan to use it as proof of something false. They plan to leak it or present it in front of people who do not know the full story. The date is not random. July 19th has been chosen because that is when someone will be most vulnerable to lies about you. That's the day their meeting is set. That's the moment your name will be spoken without mercy in a circle that doesn't understand the truth. Jesus has wept over this moment. Yes, He has wept not for the pain you are about to face, but because you have a chance to avoid it and you might miss it. That's why he's begging. This warning was not meant for a crowd. It's not meant to be forwarded around. It's meant for you alone. You have someone near you, perhaps even in your house, who has been reporting on your movements, not in an obvious way, but passively. They've been leaking words here and there, and someone else hath been collecting them. This second person is a master manipulator. They know how to twist facts. They've already rehearsed what they are going to say. Their tongue is ready, and your silence is all they need to strike. But heaven is intervening. Archangel Michael says, if you walk into that day without covering, without this warning in your heart, you will feel like you're drowning in confusion. But if you hold this message close, nothing they plan will stand. Someone had been following your online presence more closely than you realize. They've taken screenshots of your posts, your comments, your words, and they're stitching together a false story. This is not a joke, and it is not overthinking. It is a spiritual and digital war unfolding without your consent. Here is something you posted weeks or months ago that they've saved. They're planning to bring it back and say, see, this proves it. But they'll be lying. You men know her. Yet they will twist it to stir judgment, suspicion, and maybe even legal response. Jesus says, I won't let them succeed, but I need your attention now. Heaven cannot protect what is ignored. You're being marked as a scapegoat for something bigger, and they hope you don't see it coming. They are mocking you behind closed doors, even laughing at the idea that you'd find out. They've said things like, you won't even know what hit them. And this hath been the energy leading up to the 19th. But Archangel Michael stands at your gate with a sword of truth. He is ready to strike down every foul lie and deception. But you must acknowledge this message, not brush it away. There's still a window of time, a few hours to seal your path with divine clarity and protection. But the window is not wide, and it is not staying open for long. When the 19th arrives, it's either covered or exposed. Jesus has spoken to someone in a dream about you. They saw your face, your name, and something terrible about to happen, but they were afraid to tell you. They are hesitating right now, unsure whether they should come forward. They've been trembling in their spirit. You might receive a strange message or someone trying to talk to you awkwardly before this date. Don't ignore them. They were chosen to warn you but didn't have the courage. Heaven is using every possible method to pull you out of what's being arranged. Archangel Michael says, what's planned will shake even the people around you. But if you take this seriously, it will pass like smoke in the wind. A storm will come, but it won't touch you. You may suddenly feel unusually tired, anxious, or mentally scatter as the 19th approaches. This is not coincidence. It is spiritual interference. The enemy doesn't want you thinking clearly when the strike lands. Jesus has arranged for this message to land before you for a reason. Because your destiny is greater than your enemy's lies. But if your eyes close to this message, the pain could last for weeks. This isn't fear. This is protection through foresight. Heaven is not late. You are being shown behind the curtain of what man cannot see because you are chosen. Archangel Michael says, there will be two choices in front of you, one wrapped in false comfort, and one wrapped in temporary discomfort but lasting freedom. You'll recognize the moment when it comes. Choose the second. Let them say what they want. Let them plan what they want. It will not work. You have been rescued already in the spirit realm. Now it is time to walk in that protection on earth. The 19th is a page already written, but the ink has not dried yet. You can still change what's coming. If you feel your heart racing, your mind alert, your body tense, that is not fear. That is your spirit recognizing divine truth. Something inside you knows this is not fiction. It knows this is your moment to act. Jesus is not begging because you are weak. He is begging because your breakthrough is near, and this attack was designed to derail your blessing. And now, before the final hours arrive, he stands between you and the darkness and says, "Please, my child, see what I see. Hear what I'm shouting from the gates of glory." The 19th of July is not the end, but if ignored, it could be the start of deep pain. However, if accepted, it could mark your greatest spiritual victory. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, "The tears they want you to cry have already been counted in advance." They are orchestrating a situation where you will feel cornered, outnumbered, and humiliated. But heaven is already 10 steps ahead of their strategy. A woman is holding a document right now, something printed, something confidential with your name highlighted in red. She has shown it to someone else in secret and whispered, "Let's use this to ruin everything." But what she didn't know is that an angel stood nearby and recorded every word in heaven's record. On July 19th, they hope to deliver this false evidence to a higher source. It may be an employer, a family elder, a legal entity, or even someone who once respected you. But if this message reaches your heart before that hour, their effort will crumble before it begins. The forces behind this attack are not only human. There are dark spirits whispering in their ears, convincing them that you deserve this pain. But Jesus is standing in the middle of that courtroom in the spirit, shouting, "No, not this one." There's a reason your sleep had been restless lately. Dreams interrupted, thoughts racing, feelings of unseen eyes watching you. That's not paranoia. That's discernment. Something spiritual is brushing against your reality, warning you in silence. A man with a calm face but dangerous intentions is involved in this circle. You may have met him only once or twice, or maybe he watches you from a distance. He holds no emotion toward your downfall, it's just a move for him. But to you, it will feel like betrayal beyond words. Jesus is not asking you to panic. He is asking you to be aware. Heaven is lighting the path, and if you walk this week carefully, not only will you avoid disaster, you will gain clarity and favor like never before. Archangel Michael says, "There's a reversal being written now. What they meant to use against you will soon expose them. Their lies will trip over each other. Their fake evidence will be discovered for what it is. And the very people they tried to turn against you will start to question their motives. A strange visitor may try to reach you around this time, whether physically or digitally. They might pretend to check in or act concerned. But don't be deceived. They're only trying to confirm your current location, mindset, or availability. Heaven says, be polite, but do not reveal your plans to anyone around July 18th or 19th. The fewer people who know your steps, the fewer chances the enemy has to interfere. A certain woman's voice hath been echoing around your situation. She has made herself appear trustworthy, helpful, or even kind. But she has been holding a secret, one that could break your heart. And this message has come so you will not give her that power. Jesus says, I am covering your identity in this hour. They will not recognize your strength. They will not see your blessing. Their plans will scatter like wind-blown leaves. There are numbers being tracked, possibly your phone number, your location pings, or online habits. But there's nothing they can use unless you step into the snare they've laid. You've been protected this far because of divine grace. Now it's your turn to respond. You are not imagining the tension in the air around you. Your spirit is aware of what's moving. Some have been trying to test your reaction with rumors or strange behavior, just to see if you've caught on. Archangel Michael says, do not respond emotionally. Keep your composure. You are being watched not for protection but for exploitation. And if you stay calm, you disarm them completely. The 19th is a date they've circled for exposure. But what they don't know is that God has already exposed them to you first. Someone wants to make you look guilty in a matter you were never involved in. They are pulling threads from old conversations, digging through history, hoping to find one phrase or sentence that they can magnify and weaponize. But they are running out of time, and their desperation is growing. That's why this message feels intense, because their countdown is real. Jesus says, when they rise up to speak, I will silence them. When they present their plan, I will scatter it. But only if you recognize what this truly is, not just an attack, but a test. If you walk through this with discipline, clarity, and divine alertness, you won't just survive, you will shine brighter than ever. There's going to be a fake apology from someone who never cared. It may come through a message, a phone call, or a casual meeting. Don't fall for it. They are trying to measure how close you are to finding out the truth. This person is not repenting, they are researching, trying to see how much you know. Jesus says, do not return to what I've already removed you from. Let the door stay closed. Archangel Michael says, on the 19th, your name will be mentioned in a conversation that was never meant for you to hear. But an angel will be present in that room, and everything spoken will be recorded in heaven's file, ready for a reversal blessing. Those who laughed will be silenced. Those who conspired will be scattered. And those who loved you in secret will begin to rise with boldness. Even the weather around the 19th may feel different. You may feel an unusual wind, hear animals behaving oddly, or feel an eerie silence in the air. That is not random, it is heaven's signal to you that something unseen is shifting. You are not abandoned. You are being fought for behind the veil of this world. And Jesus is not just interceding, he's commanding the hosts of heaven to surround you. Archangel Michael says, I have drawn my sword. I will not let their words become your truth. But I need your agreement. You must speak life over yourself as this day approaches. Say only what aligns with your protection, your blessing, and your clarity. Cut off gossip, rumors, and distractions that cloud your focus. July 19th will either be a breakdown or a breakthrough. But the difference will not be in what happens, it will be in how you respond. This message is your shift point. Heaven is not begging out of weakness, it's roaring out of urgency. You are deeply loved, highly guarded, and not alone. Jesus has not forgotten you. He has chosen to wake you up early before the trap activates. And the one thing you must not do is ignore this. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, what they plan to use against you, words, images, recordings, or forged evidence, is already losing its power because you've chosen to listen. Every time you pause to absorb this warning, you're breaking their spiritual alignment. You're shaking the roots of their confidence. There's someone who was once neutral in your life but recently switched sides. That person is now feeding your information into a group chat, a conference call, or even a private discussion where your name is being reduced to nothing more than a target. But what they forgot is that you are covered, sealed, and chosen. Jesus is standing in full authority now, not as a silent lamb, but as a roaring lion. His plea is not weakness, it is a holy urgency, because he knows what pain feels like and does not want you to walk through unnecessary suffering. His mercy is shouting, open your eyes now, before it's too late. July 19th had been spiritually marked not just by people on earth, but by forces in the invisible realm. That is why this alert is so sharp, so detailed, and so personal. It's not fiction. It's a forest. One meant only for you. There are two faces involved in this that you've trusted before, perhaps even shared secrets, stories, or help with. One of them smiled when they last saw you, but the other one said, we'll make sure they don't see it coming. Those two are working under instruction from someone else, a darker voice behind the curtain. And yet they have no idea that every time they mention your name, angels are hovering close to listen. Heaven is not just watching, they are collecting evidence in the spiritual courtroom that will be used against your accusers. Archangel Michael says, what they touch in darkness will turn to dust in their hands. But you must not touch the same darkness with your own thoughts or actions. Stay clean. Stay still. Stay protected. The moment you try to fight back in your own way, you weaken the divine strategy. The enemy wants you to react with emotion. But Jesus is asking you to move with divine discernment. This is not just a season of survival, it is your promotion season if you pass this test. What looks like betrayal is actually exposure. What feels like an attack is actually an unveiling of what has been hidden too long. Your greatest blessing was delayed because of people around you, not you. And now God is preparing to remove them completely, but before He does, He will allow them to try one final time. That's what July 19th is about. It's not an accident. It's a last attempt from the enemy, knowing their time is short. You may start to notice strange behavior in someone you once admired. Their tone might shift. They may suddenly distance themselves or say something unusual. Don't chase their loyalty. Your assignment in your life is complete. Jesus says, I'm allowing this exposure because your next blessing requires no traitors. You're about to walk into a season where only the loyal can follow. Archangel Michael says, pay attention to signs in your body, tightness in your chest, unusual fatigue, random tears. Your body is more prophetic than you realize. It is responding to energy sent your way. But none of it will harm you if you recognize what it is and reject it in your spirit. Start declaring now, this will not stand. I am covered. I am guarded. I will not be shaken. Even your dreams may shift leading up to the 19th. You may see storms, animals, fires, or broken relationships. Do not fear them. They are not curses, they are warnings. Symbols sent in advance so you will not walk blindly. Someone has even booked a meeting, perhaps at work, or within family, or in a legal structure where your name will come up. The topic: blame. The motive: shame. But what they don't realize is that God Himself will sit at that table in spirit. They will speak, but their words will stumble. They will accuse, but their eyes will reveal hesitation. And the very one they hope to turn against you will begin to feel doubt about their motives. That's the power of a spiritual intersection. That's the favor God is preparing to unleash on your name, your face, your voice. You are not who they say you are. You never were. But this is the last season they'll have access to you. After this trial passes, after this trap fails, you will be elevated. July 19th will not break you. It will define you. Because what was meant to kill your light will become the flame that announces your arrival. Jesus is already organizing the reversal. Your story is being rewritten even as you read this. The person who planned your delay will experience divine exposure in ways they can't escape from. But you must stay silent and let God finish what He started. Archangel Michael says, heaven is not late. You're being prepositioned for victory. There will be news, perhaps even gossip, that reaches your ears in the coming days. Don't feed it. Don't repost it. Don't let it into your spirit. It's a distraction dressed as curiosity. Let the 19th come. Let it do what it was scheduled to do. But let it pass over you untouched. Heaven has already issued a divine Passover over your house, your name, and your finances. The darkness hath been told, you may approach but you may not enter. But this protection activates fully only if you heed this message. And that's why it arrived today, not tomorrow, not after the damage, but now. So you can walk wisely. So you can cover your space. So you can refuse the bait. Archangel Michael says, on July 20th, you'll look back and understand why this message reached you in time. You will understand how close the disaster came and how fully it missed you. Until then, guard your peace. Want your circle. Pray over your name, your picture, your data, and your decisions. Because every choice now matters. And remember, this is not punishment. This is a warning from love. Jesus is not just begging for your attention, He is standing between you and a scheduled collapse that only He can stop. He's holding it back with nail-scarred hands, saying, not this child. Not this time. You are more valuable than you've ever known. This message is proof. And this window is closing fast. But if you hold on, stay alert, and stay still, everything meant for your harm will become the key to your promotion. The very ones who laughed will wonder how you survived. And you'll know deep in your heart it was because heaven warned you. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, the 19th was set like a trap in the shadows, but you were never meant to walk into it blindly. What your enemies didn't realize is that heaven has already broken their timeline. Every whispered conversation, every secret signature, every act of sabotage, they have already been intercepted by divine forces. One of the most dangerous players in this plan is someone who appears peaceful on the surface. They're the kind of person others describe as calm, wise, or helpful. But beneath that mask lies a deep jealousy and a hidden desire to remove you from your current position of influence or favor. This individual has been storing resentment like a slow-gripping poison. And now, on July 19th, They believe the time has come to make their move. They think you won't see it coming. But this message is divine proof they are already exposed. Jesus has whispered your name into the ears of angels. He has said, my child is in danger. Go now. Go fast. Make sure they open this. You've likely been feeling disconnected lately, not just emotionally, but spiritually. Your prayers have felt delayed. Your inner joy has flickered. That's not your imagination. That's the early pressure of the 19th's spiritual weight. You're not weak. You're being pulled in two different directions. Light is trying to pull you forward, while shadows are trying to hold you down. But something unexpected is about to happen. Archangel Michael says, there is someone who was once part of the problem, who is about to turn on your behalf. This person has been feeling guilty. They know what's being planned is wrong. And although they don't have the full courage to confront the others directly, they will play a role in delaying or diluting the attack. Yes, God is even using your enemies to protect you. One of the documents that bears your name is currently in limbo. It's sitting in a digital inbox or folder, waiting for a final send, a final approve, or a final submit. They were supposed to push it forward before the 19th. But something unseen is causing delays. What they don't know is that angels have touched the technology. Glitches, pauses, sudden distractions. All of it is heaven's way of buying you more time. You must use that time wisely. Jesus says, speak no evil. Think no evil. React to no provocation. Just prepare in silence. Let me fight this for you. The person most eager to ruin you is not the strongest voice, it's the whisperer. The one who gets others to do the dirty work while they stay in the shadows. This person has been charming people behind your back, painting themselves as the victim, while subtly turning hearts away from you. They think they are clever. They think their hands are clean. But they've forgotten one thing. God sees the heart. Heaven sees the intent. And no matter how many filters they place over their face, or masks they wear in the spirit, they cannot hide from divine justice. Archangel Michael says, their season of pretending is ending. Their reward will be handed to them quickly and without warning. Another person, someone who loves you deeply, has begun to feel spiritually uneasy. They may not have told you yet. They might think they are just being paranoid. But their soul is sensing what's near. That person may come to you with a strange question, a gut feeling, or even a dream. Do not dismiss them. God is using more than one voice to reach you now. This message is not the only one. Others are carrying pieces of the puzzle. Jesus says, I will not allow my child to walk alone into a storm. I will send signs, people, whispers, and even discomfort to show them the path. You will feel this message echoing throughout your surroundings. People who were distant will suddenly check in. Those who have been close may act nervous. These are signs. Between the 18th and 20th, be extremely cautious of where you go, who you talk to, and what you agree to. Even an innocent meeting could be designed to manipulate or frame you. Someone may invite you into a space, physical or digital, where you will be tempted to react emotionally. But your silence will be your shield. Your peace will be your sword. Archangel Michael says, if you remain silent, I will speak for you. If you stay still, I will move for you. The drama that they are preparing is meant to explode. but it can only explode if you add your words or your actions to it. Remove your energy, and their match burns out. One very strange event may occur on the 19th. It might look like an accident, a technology error, a power cut, or a cancelled meeting. You might even be disappointed by it in the moment. But later, you'll realize it was heaven's interruption. There's someone watching your response closely. They want to see if you're emotionally shaken or spiritually distracted. But when they find you still, peaceful, and untouchable, they'll know they failed. That's when the reversal begins. Jesus is orchestrating this moment like a chessboard. Every move they make has already been countered. Every strike they plan has already been softened. You just need to stay alert and grounded. Do not announce your victories this week. Keep your blessings private. Keep your next step hidden. Share only with the Spirit. Speak only when necessary. Heaven is placing a seal over your life, and the seal will remain unbroken if you continue walking with spiritual wisdom, not emotional reaction. The 19th was designed to shake you, but it will be the day they realize you're unshakable. It will be the hour they understand they never had power over you, they only had access. And heaven just revoked it. Archangel Michael says, "Rejoice quietly. You're being marked for elevation through protection." Jesus has never begged before. But this time, he begged not because you're in danger, but because you're that important. Because this chapter of your life is too divine to be delayed. Your name is still written in the heavens. Your mission is still active. Your protection is still sealed. And now your enemies will discover just how powerful your silence truly is. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, "You were not born to be broken. You were born to be preserved even in the presence of wolves." What's coming on July 19th is not just an ordinary betrayal. It is a carefully crafted illusion meant to make you feel like you're alone, unsupported, and unseen. But that is the enemy's last trick. Heaven has not turned its back on you. In fact, the very throne room of God has placed your name at the center of divine attention. Jesus is not whispering your name, he is crying it out in intercession, so that the angels under his command act swiftly before the trap tightens. This isn't just about a problem, it's about timing. The trap has a deadline. That's why you've been pulled to read this today, before the final gears of the attack start turning. They counted on you being silent. They counted on you being naive. But they forgot God still speaks. And he's speaking now for you. One of the most terrifying parts of this plan is how quiet it is. There are no loud attacks. No shouting. Just subtle agreements. Silent approvals. Words spoken when you leave the room. Smiles that vanish the moment you turn your back. But Archangel Michael says, heaven has heard what they whispered. And now, those whispers are turning into evidence in the courts of glory. You may not have witnesses here on earth, but heaven has already documented every sentence spoken about you. There is a ledger being updated with every betrayal. And soon, justice will begin pouring out like rain. But you must remain unshaken. Because they will test your energy. They will throw bait. They will try to trigger a reaction that looks like guilt when you're completely innocent. Do not give them that satisfaction. Someone in your past, possibly an ex-lover, former friend, or a strange family member is suddenly paying attention again. Not because they care, but because they've been asked about you. Someone is gathering information for a larger narrative. This person has agreed to share what they know. But what they're doing is participating in a false narrative meant to discredit your name. Jesus is stepping between you and the ripple effects. He says, I will confuse their stories. I will scatter their agreement. I will make their mouths contradict each other. Heaven isn't only warning you, it is preparing your vindication. There is one person in particular who wanted to ruin your sense of self-worth. They couldn't bear to see your resilience. They were never bold enough to say it to your face, but they wanted to break you emotionally and spiritually. This person has now aligned with others. They've passed on words like, watch how they react. Just one more push, and they'll fall. But you will not fall. Archangel Michael says, the very net they set for you will catch their own feet. The very hole they dug for your spirit will become their own pit. God has paused their plans for your sake. You are not late. You are right on schedule for deliverance. Expect a strange shift in the energy of someone close to you. They may become distant, passive-aggressive, or too inquisitive about your schedule. Don't react. Just observe. They are being used, knowingly or unknowingly, as an access point for the enemy. Jesus says, you are about to see the true heart of the people around you. Watch quietly. You won't need to ask questions. The truth will reveal itself. July 19th was meant to be a storm. But heaven is building a wall of peace around you so strong, the storm will pass without ever touching your home. The people planning this do not realize they are already losing. And that's why their frustration is growing. They will rush. They will stumble. They will expose themselves. You may feel a heaviness in your chest or in your thoughts leading up to this day. That is spiritual pressure. Do not ignore it. Instead, cover yourself daily. Pray over your feet, your name, your digital presence, your past. Nothing is too small to be used against you by those operating in darkness. Archangel Michael says, this isn't about revenge. This is about restraint. Hold your peace. Let the sword of heaven move where your words cannot. One email, one phone call, or one false accusation may arrive on the 19th. Don't panic. Don't engage without divine guidance. Sit with God before you respond to any unexpected message. Because some communications will be traps in disguise. You've made it too far to fall now. Jesus is walking beside you silently, even when your room feels empty. He's watching every moment of hesitation, every deep sigh, every time your hand hovers over your phone unsure of who to trust. He's closer now than he's ever been because the battle is closer than it's ever been. The enemy is desperate. They know your next chapter is huge. That's why they're risking everything to delay it. But they won't succeed. There is a divine gate opening after the 19th. A spiritual window. A clearing. A rebirth of clarity, strength, and discernment. But only for those who make it through without responding in the flesh. God doesn't want you to lose your blessing defending yourself. He wants you to keep your mouth closed long enough for the truth to defend you. The evidence will come forward on its own. Their words will contradict themselves. Archangel Michael says, stay silent. Stay still. I have already taken flight on your behalf. And when the 20th of July rises with the sun, you will see something beautiful. Not only will their plan have failed, you will find yourself surrounded by unexpected favor. Someone who doubted you will apologize. Someone who listened to gossip will regret it. And someone who once distanced themselves will return with respect in their heart. Jesus says, "Because you trusted me when it was hardest, I will now reward you when it's most visible." Your name is not cursed. Your story is not ruined. Your image will not be torn down. You are rising. Archangel Michael says, this message came with heavenly way. You felt it because it was crafted only for your spirit. And no one else could have understood it the way you do. That's how you know it's real. Let the clock move toward the 19th without fear. Let the world plan what it wants. Let the darkness whisper in corners. You are protected. You are covered. You are chosen. And nothing they do will change that. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, you have already survived attacks you didn't see, and this final attempt before your elevation will not destroy you either. The very reason this message keeps finding you, again and again, is because heaven refuses to let you miss what you need to hear. It's not coincidence, it's divine orchestration. You are being watched not just by those who plan against you, but also by those who have remained silent too long. Some people around you have known parts of this plan but chose comfort over courage. They've seen the lies but said nothing. But now, even they are starting to feel the spiritual weight of their silence. Jesus is stirring their hearts. He is awakening their conscience. And soon, at least one of them will break away and say, enough. I can't be part of this anymore. That breaking will shift everything. Their confession will begin to expose what's been hidden. Archangel Michael says, the house of deception is cracking from the inside. And when the walls fall, you won't have to defend yourself. The truth will scream louder than any lie ever could. There is also a physical location involved. A room, a home, or an office space where your name has been spoken with negativity multiple times. It's not the building itself that is cursed, but the energy that's been allowed to grow within it. Be cautious if you're called into a certain place around the 19th. If you feel something strange in your spirit as you enter, trust that feeling. That's the Holy Spirit warning you. You are not meant to fight, but to discern and to withdraw when necessary. Someone will say, don't worry, it is nothing. But your spirit will know better. Jesus says, I am pulling you away from where harm is growing. I will not allow you to be seated at a table where you are the topic of destruction. There will be an interruption. Something that looks like a delay, a cancellation, or a disappointment. You not curse it. That delay is your covering. That no-show is your protection. That silence is heaven's roar in disguise. Archangel Michael says, every second you wait, I fight. Every moment you trust, I move. And on the 20th, you'll see the evidence. You'll hear something maybe small, maybe in passing, that confirms everything this message told you. Someone will slip. A message will be forwarded by mistake. A name will be revealed that shocks you. And you will know heaven tried everything to get your attention. And you listen. Even now, there are 2 angels stationed outside your spiritual atmosphere. They are not ornamental beings. They are protectors, watchers, sentinels. Their wings are not folded, they are open, alert, and ready. They've been monitoring your steps, shielding your room as you sleep, standing between your mind and the torment the enemy wanted to release. The tightness in your spirit you felt recently. That was the moment they caught the attack before it reached you. Jesus says, "My mercy will not allow your soul to be touched by those who plot evil in secret. My love will not allow their plan to unfold." You are not just protected, you are guarded under strict order. There will also be a financial attempt connected to this attack. Someone will try to damage your flow of income, reputation, or provision either through false reporting, delays, or even slander. But it will not work. Archangel Michael says, "Every coin they try to take from you will come back multiplied sevenfold." In fact, the very person who tried to create a financial gap for you will soon find themselves facing unexpected losses. Not because of vengeance, but because they touch what was protected. And when they realize it, they will fear not you but the God who defends you. Jesus says, "I am not letting them destroy what I've built inside you. I've invested too much in you. You've walked through too much already to crumble now. This is not just your test. It is your turning point. The kind of turning point that generations after you will talk about. The kind that shifts your name from survivor to testimony. They will say, 'I don't know how they made it through that.' But you'll know. Because you were warned. You were loved. You were chosen. And you were shielded." Archangel Michael says, there will be a celebration in the heavens when you pass this moment. Not because it was easy, but because it was your final enemy before promotion. Watch how everything changes after this. People will treat you differently. Some will apologize. Others will disappear. But most importantly, your peace will return, and stronger than ever. Because when God closes a door after an attack, He seals it. He welds it shut. And it never reopens. This is not just the end of a battle. It's the start of your victory. Even when the 19th comes and goes, stay humble. Stay silent. Let them wonder why their plans didn't succeed. Let them sit with a confusion of unanswered sabotage. Your reward will not be their downfall, it will be your rise. Your restoration. Your peace. Your clarity. Your divine recognition. Jesus will place something in your life so visible after this moment that everyone will see you were never abandoned. You were never weak. You were simply chosen for such a time as this. Archangel Michael says one final time, you are not late. You are right on time for your protection, your promotion, and your destiny. Now rise, beloved. Walk into the 19th like you already know the outcome. Because heaven has already sealed your victory. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, you must understand the enemy fears you more than you know. That is why they are rushing this plan. That is why July 19th was chosen with such intensity. It's not just a date, it's a deadline for those who want to stop what God is doing in your life. But what they don't know is that you've already been marked untouchable in the spiritual realm. This isn't about whether they proceed. They will. But their impact. Cancelled. Nullified. Erased. What they meant as the final blow will only serve as the final proof that you are divinely backed. Someone will say, "Why didn't it work?" Another will whisper, "How are they still standing?" But you will know because you received this message and prepared your spirit. There will be whispers of shame aimed at you, designed to isolate you from those who once supported you. But do not fear the isolation. It is not punishment. It is preparation. God is removing you from polluted circles before He takes you into pure spaces. That rejection you feel, that betrayal you sense, it's not failure. It's promotion in disguise. Jesus is allowing this moment to stretch you, not to break you, but to clear your surroundings of people who can't come with you into the next level. Archangel Michael says, those who gossiped about you will soon look up and wonder how your name reached the ears of kings. A voice is rising in your favor, even now. You may not hear it yet. You may not know who it is. But someone in a high place, whether spiritual or societal, is beginning to speak positively about you. This person has observed you from afar. They have seen your name dragged, your character questioned, your smile fade, and still, they saw your strength. This person will soon step in. Not loudly, but effectively. Jesus says, I will raise up a voice of advocacy when your own voice has been attacked. I will cause someone of influence to fight for you while you rest. There is also a shift in the heavens regarding your physical health. What the enemy planned to use as stress to break your body on or after July 19th through anxiety, pressure, or sleepless nights will instead birth healing. You'll wake up on the 20th with a strange calmness. Your body will feel lighter, your breath deeper. That's because the spiritual heaviness has lifted. What was meant to be emotional collapse will become emotional resurrection. What was meant to be confusion will turn into clarity. You will see faces clearly. You will feel motives instantly. You will know who is for you and who never was. Archangel Michael says, what they used to hide behind kindness, flattery, false loyalty will fall away like a mask in the wind, and you will see their true faces. Don't be surprised if on the 19th, your phone is silent. If people you usually hear from suddenly disappear. That silence is not abandonment, it is spiritual quietness for divine downloads. You are not meant to be distracted that day. Heaven wants your attention. Your stillness will allow the final reversal to take effect. And the moment the clock shifts, when the sun sets on July 19th, something sacred will have shifted. You will no longer be the person who was almost destroyed. You will become the person who was completely preserved. There's one final plan being held in secret, something they've kept hidden even from others in their group. A final twist. A surprise card. A weapon they think they can launch in silence to finish you. But Jesus is already standing in front of that weapon. It will never touch you. It will never reach you. It will never be allowed. Because heaven's patience has limits. Archangel Michael says, their time is up. Their plot is exposed. And their power is revoked. You may hear of something happening to those who plotted against you: confusion, exposure, or unexpected loss. Do not celebrate. Do not mock. Remain silent and still. Because your victory was never about their destruction. It was always about your elevation. Let your peace speak louder than their drama. Let your glow shine brighter than their gossip. Let your favor make more noise than their lies. And now, beloved, let it be known, you are not forgotten. You are not cursed. You are not surrounded by darkness. You are standing at the final gate before divine transformation. On July 20th, the door will open, and everything they tried to destroy will become the very thing God uses to announce you. Archangel Michael says, walk into the 19th with your head high, your heart guarded, and your spirit anchored. For by the next sunrise, your name will be safe, your destiny intact, and your future undeniable. The throne room is still watching. The angels are still guarding. The scrolls are still being written. And your name remains in bold, untouched, untarnished. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20.